Welcome to English Now. I'm glad you're here. In today's session, we're going to spend around 20 minutes practicing real shadowing in a calm, focused way. This video is designed for learners who already speak English well and want to sharpen their fluency, improve their clarity, and think faster in everyday situations. You'll listen, repeat, and follow along with natural phrases that you can use in real life, at home, at work, and throughout your daily routine. Keep your mind relaxed, stay present, and let the English flow as you follow my voice. Before we begin, make sure to check the first pinned comment and download the ebook Train Your Advanced English. Fluency in Practice. It will help you take today's exercises even further. Let's start. I'm waking up and stretching my body. I sit up slowly and take a deep breath. I stand up, walk to the bathroom, and look at myself in the mirror. I wash my face with cold water to wake up completely. I brush my teeth while thinking about my plans for the day. I feel my energy rising as I get ready. I choose my clothes and get dressed. I check my phone for any important messages. I walk to the kitchen and prepare something simple to eat. I make a cup of coffee and feel the warmth in my hands. I take a sip and enjoy the quiet moment before the day starts. I grab my things and head out the door. I walk down the street, noticing the air, the light, and the sounds around me. I feel my mind becoming more alert. I think about what I need to do today and organize my thoughts. I arrive at my destination and greet the people around me. I settle in, take a seat, and focus on the first task of the day. I breathe in, calm my mind, and prepare to stay productive. I start working with intention and clarity. I move through each task steadily and confidently. I stay focused even when things get a little busy. I remind myself to stay patient and present. I keep working with steady concentration. I review what I've already done and make small adjustments. I answer messages clearly and directly. I organize my notes so I don't lose track of anything. I stay calm, even when something unexpected comes up. I solve one problem at a time. I take a short pause to stretch my neck and shoulders. I breathe deeply and reset my focus. I return to my tasks with a clearer mind. I feel myself getting into a productive rhythm. I continue moving forward, step by step. I check my progress and feel confident about it. I remind myself that consistency builds fluency, focus, and discipline. Now I transition to a different task. I read something carefully and take in the information. I think about what it means and how I can use it. I summarize the main ideas in my mind. I repeat them silently in English to reinforce them. I reply to someone with a thoughtful message. I choose my words intentionally. I express my ideas with confidence and clarity. I feel the communication flowing naturally. I return to my responsibilities and continue progressing. I handle small details that need attention. I check something twice to make sure it's accurate. I slowly finish this part of my work. I take a moment to relax my hands and breathe again. I notice how my body feels. I allow myself a brief pause before continuing. I decide to step outside for a moment. I walk slowly and let my mind rest. I observe the movement around me. I listen to sounds in the distance. I feel the air touching my face. I clear my thoughts and recharge my focus. I stretch my arms and shake off any tension. I remind myself that small breaks help me stay at my best. Then I walk back inside with fresh energy. I sit down and prepare for the next part of my day. I organize my space and set the tone for the next task. I start again with calm intention. I read instructions and understand what needs to be done. I plan my steps and visualize how I'll finish. I begin working with a steady pace. I stay patient even when the task is challenging. I keep going, trusting the process. I adjust my approach whenever needed. I stay flexible and open-minded. I notice my thoughts becoming more fluid in English. I express ideas mentally without translating. I feel connected to the language as I continue practicing. I check my progress again and appreciate how far I've come. I continue to work with focus and clarity. I take notes, write ideas, and refine them. I feel my confidence growing with each step. I review everything one more time. I polish the final details. I complete this portion of the task with calm satisfaction. I stand up again and stretch my body. I relax my shoulders and release any tension. I take a deep breath and feel refreshed. I walk to another room to reset my environment. I touch some objects lightly, grounding myself in the space. I think about what I need to do next. I remind myself to stay organized and steady. I sit back down with a clear mind. I focus on the next goal. I open what I need and prepare myself mentally. I begin slowly, letting the rhythm build naturally. I continue working with calm focus. I review the new information in front of me. I read each line carefully and let the meaning settle. I repeat key phrases in my mind to reinforce them. I stay patient and attentive. I organize the materials I need. I place everything in order so I don't feel overwhelmed. I take a slow breath before moving on. I begin the next part of my task with steady confidence. I write down a few ideas that come to mind. I shape them into clear sentences. I read them again and make small improvements. I trust my ability to communicate smoothly. I continue shaping my thoughts. I refine each detail with intention. I stay relaxed even when the work requires focus. I let the process unfold naturally. I pause for a moment and rest my eyes. I stretch my back gently. I release any tension in my face and jaw. I breathe deeply and return to the task refreshed. I look at a new problem and think of solutions. I analyze it step by step. I consider different approaches. I choose the method that feels most effective. I apply it calmly and precisely. I check the results. I adjust what needs improvement. I stay flexible and open to change. I move forward with a balanced mindset. I take a sip of water and stay hydrated. I feel my energy stabilizing. I keep my posture comfortable and relaxed. I return to my responsibilities. I finish one small task. Then I finish another. I feel momentum building. I notice how focused I've become. I appreciate the clarity in my thoughts. I stay present in the moment, fully engaged in what I'm doing. I move to a different activity. I check messages that need my attention. I reply clearly and professionally. I express my ideas smoothly without rushing. I close the messages and return to my main work. I read a document carefully. I highlight what stands out. I summarize the important points. I repeat them quietly in English to strengthen my recall. I adjust my chair and sit comfortably. I maintain a soft, steady breathing rhythm. I let any stress fade away. I continue working with purpose. I complete another section of what I need to do. I stay focused until it's fully done. I take a moment to appreciate the progress. I stand up again and stretch slowly. I rotate my shoulders to release tension. I relax my neck and let my muscles reset. I feel a little lighter. I walk to the kitchen for a short break. I grab a quick snack and enjoy the moment. I let my mind wander freely for a minute. I return feeling refreshed and grounded. I sit back down and look at the next tasks. I prioritize what's most important. I choose the one that will move me forward. I start it calmly without pressure. I work through it with a steady rhythm. I stay patient and consistent. I trust the process as I move step by step. I continue refining my work. I pay attention to small details. I correct anything that feels off. I polish the final touches with care. I take another deep breath. I relax my hands and shoulders. I prepare myself for the next part of the day. I return to my workspace with a calm and steady mindset. I look at what's next and prepare myself mentally. I open the document I need to review. I read the first lines slowly, absorbing every detail. I let the information settle before moving forward. I continue reading with focus. I underline key ideas in my mind. I repeat important phrases softly to reinforce them. I stay present and engaged with the material. I begin rewriting a section to make it clearer. I choose stronger words. I adjust the structure. I make sure the message flows naturally. I read it again and feel satisfied with the improvement. I move to another paragraph. I analyze the tone and meaning. I correct small mistakes carefully. I reshape sentences until everything sounds smooth. I pause for a moment and roll my shoulders. I relax my neck and take a deep breath. I let any tension melt away. I return with renewed energy. I look at a new set of tasks. I prioritize the one that requires immediate attention. I start working on it step by step. I break it into smaller pieces to keep it manageable. I handle each piece calmly and steadily. I check my progress regularly. I adjust my approach when necessary. I stay adaptable and focused. I remind myself that fluency grows with clarity and intention. I read an email that needs a thoughtful response. I consider the message carefully. I craft a clear and professional reply. I read it again, making sure the tone feels right. I send it confidently and move on. I lean back for a moment. I breathe deeply and feel my mind reset. I close my eyes briefly to rest them. I open them feeling refreshed. I check my schedule for the rest of the day. I confirm what needs to be finished. I organize my tasks in a logical order. I feel more grounded knowing exactly what to do next. I return to my main project. I focus on a challenging section. I take my time understanding the details. I let the ideas develop naturally. I write a few lines, then refine them slowly. I stay patient during the process. I trust my ability to work through confusion. I let clarity form as I continue. I read the section again and notice it improving. I pause to hydrate. I take a slow sip of water. I feel the refreshment spreading through my body. I continue with steady concentration. I review everything I've completed so far. I check for consistency and accuracy. I fix small imperfections. I polish the structure so it feels smooth. I take a moment to appreciate the progress. I stretch my arms gently. I stand up and walk around the room. I breathe deeply and let my thoughts settle. I return to my seat feeling balanced. I open a new tab or document. I prepare for the next task with intention. I begin by outlining my thoughts. I expand each point with clarity. I review what I wrote and make subtle adjustments. I continue building the content. I stay focused on the flow. I express ideas naturally and confidently. I read everything again, making sure it sounds cohesive. I take another short pause. I relax my facial muscles. I breathe deeply through my nose. I exhale slowly and feel grounded. I return one last time to the current task. I check the final details carefully. I make sure everything feels complete. I prepare myself mentally for the next step of the day. I come back to my work with calm determination. I look at the next item on my list and focus my attention on it. I open the files I need and take a moment to understand the task. I breathe slowly and prepare to continue with steady focus. I start reading the first section carefully. I absorb the information line by line. I highlight the parts that matter most. I repeat the main ideas quietly in English to reinforce my thinking. I begin organizing the content. I arrange each point in a logical order. I create a simple outline that helps everything make sense. I check the structure and adjust it until it feels clear. I start expanding each section. I write naturally, letting the ideas flow. I choose strong words and precise expressions. I read what I wrote and refine it gently. I make sure the message is accurate and well-crafted. I pause to rest my eyes again. I look away from the screen for a moment. I take a slow breath and release any tension in my body. I return with renewed clarity. I continue shaping the content. I focus on one paragraph at a time. I polish the sentences until they sound smooth and balanced. I remove anything unnecessary. I strengthen anything that feels weak. I take a step back and read the entire section. I evaluate the flow from beginning to end. I check the tone, the structure, and the clarity. I make a few small adjustments to improve the rhythm. Next, I review a different part of the project. I read it slowly to make sure I understand every detail. I take notes on what needs improvement. I rewrite the parts that feel unclear. I stay patient and precise. I switch to another task that requires my attention. I skim through the information first. I identify what needs to be done. I break it into smaller, manageable steps. I start with the first step and keep going steadily. I feel my mind staying focused. I move through the task with purpose and intention. I keep my breathing slow and steady. I remind myself to stay relaxed and present. I check my work again. I correct small mistakes. I polish each detail until it feels complete. I feel confident with the result. I take a short moment to stretch my back. I roll my shoulders gently. I relax my hands and fingers. I let my body reset before continuing. I return to my desk and open a new document. I prepare to draft another section of my project. I take a deep breath to clear my thoughts. I begin writing the introduction with calm confidence. I develop the ideas slowly and clearly. I expand each point in a natural flow. I read each line and adjust the wording. I keep improving the clarity and tone. I stay fully engaged in what I'm doing. I let English guide my thoughts. I think directly in the language without translating. I feel fluency forming naturally through consistent practice. I finish another part of the draft. I review it carefully. I make final refinements to strengthen the message. I take a moment to acknowledge the progress. I stand up once more and stretch lightly. I breathe deeply and center myself. I walk around the room to refresh my mind. I return with a calm sense of focus. I sit down again and prepare for the next step. I organize my workspace neatly. I open the tools and files I need. I steady my breathing and get ready to continue. I look at the final task of the day. I review the last details calmly. I make small adjustments to keep everything clear and polished. I take a deep breath and read the work one more time. I feel satisfied with the progress I made. I close my materials slowly. I relax my shoulders and let my mind unwind. I appreciate the focus, the practice, and the discipline of this session. Thank you for joining this shadowing practice. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe.